Hi Peaches, it's Shaaba. Welcome back to my channel and thank you for clicking on another video. We're doing something a little bit new today. I hope you don't mind. Actually, it's not that new. If you didn't already know, I have a gorgeous friend. His name is Rolly. He's an incredible creator and Rolly and I collabed recently. We did a little confessions video here on our channel, but on Rolly's channel we explored something called Entitled Parents. And I tell you, I have not seen so many bananas as I have on Entitled Parents. It was so much fun and you should totally go check out that video if you haven't already. But I thought we could also take a look at it today ourselves for the first time. What do you think, my loves? You up for it? Entitled parents are entitled parents. Parents who feel that they are entitled to things. And honestly, I didn't really understand why there was a need for such a forum. I was like, really? This happens so much that people feel the need to talk about it this much? Let's go through it together and you tell me whether you think the forum is justified. Just before we dive in though, I just wanted to say a huge thank you to all of you lovely peaches for supporting my music so far. I've now released 2 singles from my upcoming EP, Inside Voices, I Don't Like Me Either and Little Doll Shoes, and both of them are available to stream right now on all the platforms that you listen to music with. Spotify, YouTube Music, Deezer, Amazon, iTunes. It's there if you'd like to. I would so appreciate it if you could give it a listen. Let me know what you think. I have a bunch more coming out in the new year. But right now, let's take a look at some entitled parents. Okay, should we just dive right in? Refusing to change my daughter's clothes at our birthday party. With entitled parents as well, when I was doing it with Rolly, they sound pretty chill, right? Unlike Am I the Arsehole that's just like, am I the arsehole for ruining someone's entire life? You get the vibe that it's something quite big. But on these ones, it's just like, this tiny thing happened. And then a Karen came along. I'm a 34-year-old woman and I've got 2 kids, an 8-year-old boy and a 4-year-old girl. My daughter's name is Aurora. Such a cute name. My husband, 36, and I chose the name because it was slightly similar to my late father-in-law's. Okay. And worked well with our last names. It had nothing to do with the princess from Sleeping Beauty. You're going to tell me that a parent had a problem with the name Aurora. Okay. In spite of that, we've had fun with that movie in the past, and ever since my daughter realised that she shares the name with a Disney character, Princess Aurora has been her favourite. That's adorable and I love it. You just wait until she grows into a little teen and she's like, Mum, I'm Aurora, I sleep. I would totally do that. Our family went to Disney World in July. Oh, I still want to go to Disney World so bad. And whilst there, we bought my daughter a Princess Aurora costume. She adores it and she wears it whenever she has a chance. Remind me how old Aurora is? 4. So cute, so cute. 2 weeks ago, one of Aurora's friends from school threw a princess-themed birthday party. She encouraged her friends to wear costumes and my daughter wanted to go as her favourite character, which didn't surprise me at all. When we got to the party, the birthday girl came to greet my daughter and she was also dressed as Princess Aurora. Oh, I didn't know what her costume was going to be prior to the party. Oh, is this a problem? Oh, I was like, oh, twinning 2 cute little Auroras. She's like, uh-oh, it's common. I got worried for a second, but the birthday girl was actually really excited. Exactly, right? She said that they looked like twins. You took the words right out of my mouth. It was adorable. They ran off to play and I forgot about the costumes for a while. About 30 minutes into the party, I was at a table with some of the other mums when the birthday girl's mother came up to me. She asked if I bought any spare clothes for Aurora. I said yes, I was bringing an extra shirt and shorts for her, and she then asked me to change my daughter into the spare clothes and out of her costume. The mother explained that she'd hired a photographer to walk around and take pictures of the kids and was also planning on getting a group photo near the end of the party. She didn't want anyone wearing the same costume as her daughter in these pictures. Well, then she should have made sure to say, come dressed as a princess, but not Princess Aurora, because I want my daughter to be the only Princess Aurora. If you're going to say come as Disney princesses, like, I swear, depending on the time that it comes out, surely you're going to get like 50 Elsas, right? Like, it doesn't matter. There are so many. Are you the real Princess Aurora? No. So what does it matter if multiple people are dressing? Imitation is the highest form of flattery. Ugh. I'm feeling spicy. Let's read on. She also thought that her daughter might get jealous since my kid gets to share her name with the favourite princess, but the daughter wasn't jealous. She was excited about it. She was like, yay, how cute. She seemed excited. Like, this is definitely the mum's issue, right? Also, if you know that a kid in your class is called Aurora, right, and she's gonna come to your kid's princess-themed party with the name Aurora, and you have this thing where you're like, I want to make sure that my kid is not dressed like any other kid here. Would you not run that by Aurora's parents? What? Now, if the birthday girl was one who had a problem, I might have considered changing Aurora into her spare clothes. That's very kind of you. I still don't think it would have been necessary. I think it would have been quite bratty, and really, if that was the case, it would have been the mum's sort of onus to be like, hi, child, this is a learning moment. It's okay. Many people can be Aurora. But fair. But no, says OP. She was genuinely excited that they were dressed the same. It also didn't feel fair to force my daughter to be the one without a costume in a party full of children in princess dresses. Makes so much sense. I said no and I explained my reasonings to the girl's mum. She insisted for a few minutes, but I held my ground and some of the other mums started to back me up and she eventually got up and left. Yes, brownie badge for the other mums for not starting extra drama and for being like, come on, isn't this is fine. It's fine. I like that. I like that. Mums supporting mums, women supporting women. Sadly against another woman, but the woman's being a turd, so, you know. When I went to pick up my kids earlier this week, I ran into her friend's mum. She accused me of ruining her daughter's party by allowing Aurora to wear the same costume as her. Bananas. She told me that she doesn't think she'll ever be able to look at the pictures without being disgusted by my behaviour. Do you know what I'd be doing? I would be going and I would be buying those cutout masks of Princess Aurora's face and I would wear it. I would encourage my entire family to wear it and put it on every time we met her. Be disgusted by that, you absolute... People like this have far too much time on their hands for this to be what they're worrying about. I'm like, babe, if this is how not busy you are, pick a charitable cause. You could be doing so much good in the world instead of this. I thought she was exaggerating, but I'm starting to doubt myself. Our conflict has found its way to the mums group chat that we're both in, and opinions over there are divided. Some think that having two girls wear the same costume is no big deal. Others think that I should have changed my daughter's clothes. You shouldn't have, my love. Oh my god, you shouldn't have. This is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. You know when people say there are bigger things? There are so many bigger things happening to worry yourself over than this. There's actually an update. I've never looked at an update post before. Shall we see? Okay, so mum's given us some clarifications. My daughter and the birthday girl aren't physically similar. Aurora has wavy brown hair, but birthday girl has straight blonde hair. We're all Caucasian, but my daughter's more tan. The party was held at a kids' party venue, not the birthday girl's place. Even if it was held at birthday girl's place, I don't think you'd be in any way more obligated to change her outfit. There were 19 girls and a toddler at the party and all wearing costume. There were a few boys, but they were older. Were they also in princess dresses? I was never friends with the birthday girl's mum. Her request at the party was probably the third time we'd ever talked, and the first that wasn't about the weather. Okay. The birthday girl's mum didn't want me to change my daughter's clothes just for the group photo at the end. She wanted me to change her for the entire party and all photos. I mentioned in a comment that if the birthday girl had a problem with my daughter's costume, I might be willing to drive home, change Aurora into her Merida dress, which is her second favourite, and then return to the party. But I want to stress that I'd only do that if the birthday girl was upset when we got to the party, not if her mum was annoyed. By then, my daughter was already playing with birthday girl and her friends. And look, birthday girl was not annoyed. This is just mum. Merida is also pretty kick-ass and like super cool, but no, you didn't have to do that. To those who said I could change Aurora at the party and or use it as a teaching moment, I'm going to assume that you've never met a 4-year-old. My daughter's kind-hearted, would definitely do it to make her friend happy, but she'd still view it as punishment. It's also cruel to take a child away from a party and tell them that they can no longer play princess with their friends. I refuse to alienate or upset my daughter when she's done nothing wrong, and I absolutely don't regret the decision, and you shouldn't. And you know what? Anybody telling OP that this is a teaching moment, a good teaching moment, what are you teaching her? That if other people shout loud enough, even when they're unjust, that you should be a mat and be walked all over. That's not a good thing to teach. Are you teaching her that if one person claims a fictional being, no one else can be that fictional being? And what you should be doing is triple checking all the time you go into any kind of commitment that you're not overstepping unreasonable goals set by other people. Because that's not a great teaching moment. I think what you're doing in standing your ground is a good teaching moment if the kid's even like aware of all of this stuff, which they won't be because their kid's having a great time at a birthday party and entitled mum just needs to leave it the frick alone. Get in the bin. I don't see the problem. Woo! Alright, there are a couple of updates. On Friday, my husband went to pick up the kids in an Aurora dress, I hope. The parents of one of my son's friends who have a younger son in my daughter's class asked if he knew about the costume fiasco, or as my friends are calling it, Aurora Gate. I told him everything and he said the birthday girl's mum was being ridiculous as I had no idea what her daughter's costume was gonna be. The mum he was talking to asked, wait, she didn't know. She called me and I told her my side. The fact that it's even gotten this far. Turns out that birthday girl's mum told people that I'd been informed about the costume weeks before the party. The drama! The story was walked before it even got to the group chat. My side of the story then made it to the group chat, and after some pressure, birthday girl's mum eventually confessed that she'd lied about me, and most of the other mums had apologised to me by Sunday. Karma. Karma is my boyfriend. Karma is a god. Karma is gonna get you. And I'm so glad that Karma served her sweet justice right here. So why are there other updates? Also apologising to us on the Sunday were birthday girl's father and maternal grandma. Apparently birthday girl's mum's been complaining about the party almost daily. Oh my god, like get a hobby. Since they got the photos back, birthday girl's mum has been insisting that there isn't a single good photo of her daughter without another girl wearing the same costume, because they were playing together most of the party. Also, clearly birthday girl was so distraught that your daughter wore the same dress. She was especially upset about the group photo, which shows birthday girl in the centre and my daughter to her right. There are two girls between them, but she still thinks that they're too close to each other. Birthday girl's dad has been listening to the complaints since the party and told us that unless his daughter was in the room, he couldn't look at the photo without his wife making a comment about me, my daughter, or how we ruined birthday girl's birthday. It came to a head on Saturday. While talking with the grandma after birthday girl went to bed, the mum said she no longer wanted to make a photo album of the party. They'd gotten a photographer both the albums and social media purposes. Both birthday girl's dad and grandma wanted the album. The three had a fight that lasted about 15 minutes before the grandma told birthday girl's mum to stop obsessing over her daughter's friend. She went and done it! Grandma went and done it! She said that all that matters is that birthday girl had fun and that all the photos reflect that. Excuse me, grandma? How dare you care about your daughter's well-being? What do you mean you don't care about the fact that your granddaughter didn't give a Mum clearly gives a and it's mum's party after all. This is ridiculous. They told us all of this when they called to apologise. They wanted the mum to apologise too, and she hasn't. And a third update, Aurora came home from school yesterday wearing a headband with her name and a rose embroidered on it. Birthday girl had her grandma make it for her. Me and my husband are still in contact with the birthday girl's father and we're trying to set up a play date for the girls next week. I'm so glad that the girls are going on play dates. I think that's really sweet. However, like, why was this headband required? This is really sad. It's really sad that entitled mum doesn't have something better to do. It's totally entitled in this situation. But this headband thing, like, is it just a cute thing that she's done, or is it a cute thing that she's doing because she feels guilty? Because if these conversations are happening at home, I bet you, even if they're trying to hide it, birthday girls heard some of them. And how crap would it be if a beautiful, adorable, wholesome friendship is ruined because birthday girl's mum can't get over the fact that two dresses can simultaneously exist at the same time? Unfrickin-leavable. Totally bananas. I tell you, entitled mums, I don't understand. I don't think I'm helpful in any of these videos, but I can't get enough. I can't believe people like this exist. Should we do another one? I'm gonna say naughty. Oh no, racist entitled mum doesn't understand receipts. So, says OP, there's an amazing Middle Eastern restaurant in my area that I go to often. The restaurant owner is a Middle Eastern immigrant, I'm not sure from where, and he's lived in the US for over 25 years. He has an accent, but he's fluent in English. This is the context to set the story. Okay, I was like, question mark? Eyebrow raise. I was hungry, so I went over to the restaurant. I walked in and I saw a lady, entitled mother, standing at the ordering counter. I waited patiently in line and all seemed normal. The restaurant owner printed the receipt, gave it to the entitled mother, and took her money. Entitled mum looked down at the receipt and said irritatedly, "Excuse me, why does this receipt say balance due? I paid for my food already in exact change." The restaurant owner looked confused and said to entitled mum, "Ma'am, you don't owe anything. I just printed the receipt before." But then the entitled mother cut him off and screeched, "I don't know about whatever, insert rude, racist contextual term here, country that you came from, but in America, due means I owe you something. I don't owe you anything. You got that?" The chill kid left his mum to sit down, obviously embarrassed as hell. The restaurant owner sighed and printed entitled mum's receipt again. I can't believe that. I can't believe that. He handed it to her and said, "Is this receipt to your satisfaction, ma'am?" Don't you ma'am her, restaurant owner. Don't you dare give her an ounce of respect. How rude. Entitled mum thoroughly looked over the receipt before giving a satisfied nod and saying, "Much better. I guess you people can be taught to do something right." I'd have slapped a bitch. I wouldn't have actually. I do not encourage physical violence of any kind. I would have shouted so much. She sat down next to her son and waited for her food. When I went up to the counter after entitled mother sat down, I just rolled my eyes. The restaurant owner shrugged and took my order. Some people really get set off from the littlest things. I'm actually so shocked to hear that this happened 2 days ago. That's ridiculous. I don't know why, like, for a second I had like a moment of upset from OP. I was like, why didn't you say something? Like, clearly you can see it's wrong. Why didn't you stand up? But you know what? It's not the responsibility or the onus of other people to stand in and say things, especially if they're fearing for safety. Like, I get why you wouldn't want to involve yourself in that kind of situation. The onus is on the entitled mum being a total racist asshole bigot. That's what's happened here. Wow, this is very enlightening. I'm so sorry to the restaurant owner. I kind of wish that the restaurant was like named so that we could like give it a bit of a platform here, and maybe we could like buy some vouchers and be like, you didn't deserve that. Turds. Absolute turds. Nothing is written in the comments. Oh, but someone has said here, did you speak up? If you're white, as a white person, the amount of racism people openly show around me is staggering, and I always say something. It might mean nothing, but these people need to know that they're out of line. Yeah, they do need to know that they're out of line, and I think if you are in a safe position to call out, then fab, do so. But at the same time, if things get worse, like it's so difficult. Like you need to assess the situation. If I was a restaurant owner there, I would have appreciated someone saying something, but if it turned into something else, I wouldn't have appreciated it. Do you know what I mean? And like obviously no one can tell how someone is going to react, and often it depends on the dynamics. If the person that's speaking is somebody with like a lot of physical power, intimidation, people are going to be less likely to, you know, call that out. Oh my god. Anyway, Opie responded and said, I am white, but I have severe anxiety issues and I'm a minor, so I doubt that she would have cared what I had to say. And I can totally appreciate that. Often with these people as well, like when they're saying such rude things, like she doubled down on it as well. That's what I'm so shocked about. When people are saying such rude things, they're not in a position where they want to listen. They don't care what you have to say. They've probably heard other people try to educate them before and ignored it. I'm just so sad that people like this exist. This is more than just bananas. This is just plain cruel. Alright, let's look at another one. No privacy. Sounds like the name of like a movie or a crime book. Sorry, I'm still shaking the other one off of me. Alright, I'm a 23-year-old woman and I have no privacy whilst I'm living at my parents' home. I was using the toilet earlier and I closed the door, but I kept a slight crack opened. My mother barged in without knocking, asking what I was doing. Well, mother, what do you think I'm doing sitting on a toilet? I'm simply using the restroom, and she proceeded to say, you don't usually close the door. I usually keep it open a crack for my cats. It's also a toilet that's in my bedroom itself. Me and my mum share. There's a lot of instances like this. If I'm changing my clothes and I close the door, she immediately starts with, what were you doing? I'm 23 and she just won't stop with the lack of privacy. It's annoying and I'm not sure how to set boundaries in my life with this woman. She infringes on all aspects of my life, my dating, sex life, and everything else, and I want her out. It makes me anxious. Sounds like maybe it's time that there is a bit of a separation. I don't know if like finance allows for it, but I can see here, like even the top comment, I'm so sorry that you're dealing with this. It sounds like it's time to start saving and formulating a plan to get out of there. I do agree, and if that's something that you're financially able to do, it sounds like a natural progression that would definitely make the phrase, a distance make the heart grow fonder, ring very true. It's interesting though, because like this, what were you doing? What were you doing for shutting the door? It seems like more than just like an entitled sense of privacy, but a genuine lack of trust, like a concern for what you're doing. I wonder if maybe something's happened in the past. Did mum see you do something where she wasn't happy about it? Is mum concerned for your safety? Is she thinking that you're hiding something? Because I think if that can be addressed and sorted out, then at least until you move out, things can be sort of healed and made better with healthy communication. I'm so sorry, I'm still thinking about how ridiculous that restaurant situation was. Oof. This one is not great, but certainly milder on the scale. My brain is fried. Alright, entitled Mum doesn't want me seen at the hospital. 1 week ago, I had a bilateral tonsillectomy and an adenoidectomy. Those words are so big. I always find it so funny when I like hear medical terms because they sound so fancy. And I'm like, oh right, you took your tonsils out. Oh right, those little bally things right there? Yeah, you had those whipped out too. I have also had my adenoids out. That's the only way that I know that they're tiny little balls that are here. Where my fingers would meet, they're like here in the sinus area. Anyway, such a digression. This morning, I woke up coughing up heavy amounts of blood. Oh no. Per my discharge papers, I called my ENT and he told me to come in and see him right away. To see him, not go to the ER, etc. What is an ENT? Ear, nose and throat doctor? Does it mean the same thing that I would think it means? Basin in hand, because I'm still coughing up blood periodically, I got a lift to the hospital. Lift, like the brand Lift. I get to the ENT office and I check in, and I notice when I get there that there's a mum there with 4 kids. 1 is an infant that she's carrying and 2 are toddlers who are being minded by a teen. I found this odd because it's 10 AM on a Friday, they should be at school. The toddlers are running around being chaotic and the mum is yelling at the teen saying that she needs to take care of them. I wonder if maybe that's what's happened. Like maybe is the exam for one of them? Maybe if the exam is for one, then the mum needed the help of the teen to look after the others whilst she's holding baby. There are other reasons. I feel bad assuming that the mum is doing something suspicious just because the kids are out of school. It could also be school holidays. This happens so much. I'm like, shouldn't you be in school? I don't ask kids that, but I think that, and then I learn that it's half term or something, and I'm like, oh, that's why there's so many kids around. I'm in the waiting room for less than 5 minutes before they come to bring me back. Coughing up blood is a good way to get seen quickly. The mum goes wild and goes off at the receptionist while standing between me and the nurse who's trying to bring me back. She's saying, what the hell? I've been waiting for over an hour. Why does she get to go straight back? And they responded, ma'am, you've been here for 15 minutes. She's seeing a different doctor to you. Her need is urgent. You are just here for an exam. Entitled Mum says, I don't care. Can't you see how restless my kids are getting? She's an adult. She can wait. Excuse me? I don't care if you're dying. I have children. That's when the nurse went around her and pulled me in. I'm so glad you were seen. Bananas. Bananas. Normal level bananas. Bananas. I'm not saying that Entitled Mum was right at all, but it is also frustrating sometimes when you see like other people get seen in first. Like I'm not the kind of person that would say something, but I do kind of get it when it happens so many times and you're a mum. Like sometimes you're just catching people on an off day. But to be like, no, don't bring her in, like that is mean and very entitled. I actually had an experience once, not like this, but where I might have seen like a little bit like Karen at the hospital. Okay, tiny story time. Long story short, there was a problem with my ear and I had surgery on my ear and it was fine. They did say to me though, keep an eye on your ear. It's funny, eye ear. Keep an eye on your ear, and basically if you can sense that the problem's coming back, we need to treat it sooner rather than later, because if we can do this like sort of smaller surgical procedure that involves injections, we don't have to do a full-on surgery. And I was like, okay, hopefully this doesn't happen again. Touch wood. Now I need to touch some wood. Hang on. Wooden shelf. Useful. Touching wood. So that happened. For many years I was totally fine, and then I started to notice that the problem was coming back again. I was like, oh my god. So I called my doctor and I was like, hey, I kind of need to like have this appointment. I went to get seen by the GP. The GP was just like, yes, you need to go to the specialist. I was like, I know, they told me to. So I book an appointment with the specialist, and my appointment gets rearranged, this is also important, a couple times. And as this is happening, I can sense that the problem is getting worse with my ear, and I'm like, stressed, because I didn't want to have the bigger operation if I could have the smaller procedure to avoid the bigger operation. Totally get it though, you know, the NHS is stressed. We have a national healthcare system. I'm still very grateful for the national healthcare system. It's the government that's messing it up. That's a different video entirely. It was fine. I then went into my appointment, right? And the hospital had like a main reception. So I'm standing at the reception and she goes, go that way to the other reception, because there was the main hospital reception and then the little receptions for the department, right? That was the same reception, the smaller one that she pointed me to, the same reception that I'd been to before for my consultations about my ear. So I'm at the reception. My appointment time was like, call it 10 o'clock, and I was there at like 9:45. So I thought, you know, 15 minutes to get seen, whatever. Okay. The people in front of me were being really freaking difficult. They weren't understanding how to fill out forms. They were doing things at the wrong time. I overheard their conversation in full and I was just like, person, you're being silly. The receptionist is trying to help you out here, but you are being silly. But regardless, the receptionist was still being quite rude. When I was finally seen, it was after my appointment time, but not by too much. It was like, what, 10 past or something. I was in the queue that whole time and I was like, I'm here. And they were like, you're late. And I was like, I'm not late. I'm here. I was in the queue. I've been waiting in this queue for 25 minutes. Also important to mention that I had very recently at that time just dyed my hair pink for the first time. So I was this brown girl with pink hair in a very like Tory area. I stood out is what I'm trying to say. And she was like, yes, I guess you were. As in like she saw me. And I was like, yay, pink hair. Anyway, she said, go and wait in the waiting area. So I waited in the waiting area, as she said. And I was patient. I listened. She was grumpy. She made me a little bit scared, but it's fine. I was sitting, doing as I was told. And like 15 minutes passed and I was like, okay, sure. And then half an hour passed. I was like, okay, this is a bit ridiculous, because there was nobody else there. No one else was being seen. So I walked up and I was just like, is everything okay? You definitely checked me in, right? And she was like, yep, just sit there. She sounded annoyed that I had bothered her again. She was like, you're on the system, just sit down, you will be called. And I was like, okay. So I waited there for another half hour. I was there for an hour in total. And now the nurse went on her lunch break. And I was like, what is going on? Who is seeing me? So during this time, I went back to the main reception to be like, hi, I'm sorry to bother. I just want to make sure that I'm like on the list. And she searched my name and on the system, it said that I'd missed the appointment. And I was like, I hadn't missed the appointment. I was right here. And it turned out that the smaller team receptionist should have sent me up to the new small team receptionist for this new sub thing for the procedure thing that I was doing. She was like, you needed to go up there. And I was like, oh, well, I didn't know. So I then go up the stairs and I explained to the lady upstairs, the receptionist, what had been going on. And she was like, well, you missed your appointment time. I'm sorry, you have to go back on the waiting list. And the waiting list right now is about 6 months. And I was like, no, I can't do that because then I'm going to have the big surgery. And I explained this to her and she was like, well, I sympathise for your situation, but I can't do anything. That's when I turned into a bit of an entitled Karen. Also, I should say it wasn't by choice. This thing happens where when I'm really frustrated, I cry. And so I had like tears streaming down my face. And I was like, I'm sorry, I know it's not your fault, but that lady was so mean to me downstairs and she didn't need to be and she put me in the wrong place, and I need to go to this appointment, and I can't leave. I can't leave without seeing someone, because all you need to do is tick a box to tell me to have the surgical procedure. I didn't need the surgical procedure now, but it was just like that little moment, like it was literally an administrative thing that needed to happen so that I could plan the new appointment, and I was so stressed out about it, and I felt like she didn't believe me. And so this other reception person came up and was like, what's going on here? And so I explained the situation to them too, and they vouched for me. I'm so grateful. They were like, you were here. I remember seeing you. I came down for water and I saw your pink hair. And I was like, yes, for the pink hair. Anyway, long story short, after crying and the vouching from her sort of colleague, she was like, let me see what I can do. And she squeezed me in for that appointment. I wasted like 3 hours at that freaking hospital by the end of it, but I got my appointment and I had the small procedure and it's fine. Touch wood again, just in case. That was a huge digression, but just to let you know that sometimes you need to be a bit of a Karen. All right, should we do another? I think I had my first toxic boy mum encounter. Ooh. Okay, so I'm not very au fait with like different areas of the internet. Toxic boy mums is a very new phrase for me. Jamie's like, how do you not know what this is? But I don't, contrary to belief, I don't spend all of my time on Reddit. So we're learning. From what I understand, toxic boy mums are mums of boys specifically who like act in like borderline inappropriate ways because they're like, you are my boy. Is that right? If I've misunderstood that, Peach, please pop your little butt downstairs and educate me on internet culture. OP says, my family, myself, my fiance and my baby boy went to visit my cousin for a few days last week. The day we arrived, we all went to pick up her daughter from school. When we got there, she was chatting with a friend who was a boy, so a boyfriend of hers. She saw us, she hugged him goodbye, blasphemy, and she ran in our direction. I'm getting that the blasphemy is satire. My niece talked to us for less than 30 seconds before turning her attention to my son. She cooed over him for a while before taking my fiance's hand and having him show our baby around to her classmates. That's so cute. I stood next to my cousin waiting for them. As soon as my niece was out of earshot, somebody called my cousin's name. It was the boy's mum. She was holding her son in her lap. She reached up, pointed her finger at my cousin and said, you need to teach your daughter to behave herself. She shouldn't be talking to my son and they shouldn't be hugging. They're way too young for that. She then left the classroom without waiting for a reply. They're both 5. He was complimenting her Shrek Crocs. Anna, can we get a photo of some Shrek Crocs, please? Because I need to know what they look like. That's amazing. I mean, the entitled mum behaviour is not amazing. That's definitely entitled mum behaviour. But Shrek Crocs, wow. Both boy and your niece, yes, OP's niece, have very good taste. I don't normally like Crocs, but if they're Shrek Crocs, I'll make an exception. And to any of my friends watching this, because I know you, Lucy, I know you, Alex, I know you're going to be like, I'm going to get Shaaba Shrek Crocs because that's the exception to her rule. No, do not bring Crocs into my house. I'm just acknowledging that the idea of Shrek Crocs is cool. Entitled mum. Okay, this is fun level bananas. I'm sorry, I feel like this video is everywhere. I'm still kind of shooketh over the restaurant owner situation. And now I've gone and told you an entire story that basically explained me to be a Karen. But you know what? What are you gonna do? 5-year-olds are gonna hug. 5-year-olds are gonna talk. Who are you to stop your child from talking to people just because they're different genders? Oh my goodness. It's this intention that puts like creepy objectives onto kids. Like they're just being wholesome. They're just talking, they're making friends, and you are turning it into something that it doesn't need to be. Why does everything need to be so sexualized? Like I don't get it. Is that the point of toxic boy mums? I'm kind of getting that now. Like the toxicity, if my understanding of toxic boy mums is correct. All right, let's do one more to end today. Well, I finally had my first entitled parent experience in the mall parking lot, says OP. I was off to the mall for a pair of winter shoes so I don't slush my dang socks. I've never heard that phrase before, but I love it. Lucky me, there was a spot really close to the entrance open, and as I'm creeping up to the spot, there's a woman with a baby strapped to her chest and someone that I assume is a sister, friend, whatever, walking up the laneway. Oh, so they're walking up to the spot too. Okay. They looked like they were just going into the mall, but then they stood in the spot that I was trying to pull into. Sensational. I love the satire. I waved and they ignored me. I tapped my horn and they waved me off, saying that they're saving that spot for their friend. That's not how car parks work. You can't just reserve a spot by standing in it. Also, just like the logistics of that, if you're doing it, well, I don't know, maybe this is like in the States and they have much bigger roads, right? I'm assuming because of the use of the word mall. If in the UK, most of the car parks that I go to, if there is a car waiting for a spot, like you're there, cars can't go around. Like, it's so small. Anyway, I pretty much told them that that isn't how parking lots work and that I'm not moving. An entitled mum then looked at me and started going on about how she has a baby and how she should get to park closer to the mall because of her baby. I roll. But also, you're saving the spot for your friend. Like, you're already parked up, mum with baby. You're standing outside, walking extra, waiting for your friend. You're clearly not doing this for your baby. I tell her that I don't freaking care about her baby. Back and forth with her, insisting that she won't move, and for some dumb reason goes on about saying, I dare you to hit me. Like, dude, I'm not insane, and you were just going on about your baby. Since she wouldn't move, I just laid on the horn until this big red truck started to come up behind me. I'm not sure if I would have done what OP is doing in this situation. I definitely think it's very entitled to be like, blah, blah, blah. And especially to endanger your child and be like, hit me. I dare you to hit me. Like, what is wrong with you? You're speaking to a stranger. You don't know if you antagonize the wrong kind of stranger if they're actually gonna do something mean. And why on earth would you endanger your child in any way for a parking spot for your friend? What? Lo and behold, there was an open space literally only 2 spaces down that the red truck pulled into. Oh, is this the person that they were waiting for? The big red truck that had a guy they were with? Yeah, I get it. I get that it's entitled behavior, but at the same time, if there was another spot, you totally could have gone into that too. I get that it's a principle thing, but like, I don't know. Maybe I'm too non-confrontational. I wouldn't do this. Would you do this? Let me know. I'm not saying they're wrong for doing it. I'm just saying I wouldn't do it. Meanwhile, the mum and the other woman that she's with do walk out of the space, calling me every name under the book. Honestly, I feel like a YouTube rage bait video. I'm staying by my car because I genuinely don't trust crazy people not to do crazy things to my car. And this is why I wouldn't do it. You were supposed to go into the shops. You could have parked 2 bays down and you could have gone in and not had a problem. But now you have a problem and you're spending ages in the car park worrying that someone's going to key your car. The guy who was driving the truck just looked down at his phone whilst a woman told me off for endangering their baby. Entitled mum, you were doing that. And as they walked past to go inside. Honestly, I like to think that he was embarrassed. Oh dear, I wonder what other people think. She literally put her baby in danger for a parking spot. What a crappy mum. I totally agree. I think what you encountered were wild Karens. Karens in the wild. Oh my gosh. I don't know why I enjoy it so much, but this is a forum that I would love to visit again. If you enjoyed this, my loves, let me know. Do you want to see another one? Should we explore entitled parents again someday? If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. If so, subscribe if you would like to see more. You'd be surprised at how many people are not subbed or how many people think that they're subbed and are not subbed. So if you want to, just take a little look down at the sub button. If you're not subscribed and you want to, it's totally free. You're very welcome to. It would help me out a lot. I'll catch you next time with another video. Be kind and have a great day. Bye.